ADCB presents Top Guns in association with Audi and Tumbe Group. Welcome to another episode of Top Guns. I'm your host, Anish Jagtiani. Every week, we bring you fascinating stories of people who have thought big, believed big, and succeeded big. That's what Top Guns is all about. No prizes for guessing. I'm in the Oasis Mall. If you live in Dubai, it's one of the major landmarks on Sheikh Zayed Road. If you don't live in Dubai, let's just suffice to say it's an amazing shopping destination. Oasis Center is owned by the Landmark Group. Today, we are here to meet with Mickey Jagtiani, who's the founder of the Landmark Group, and also with his wife, Renuka Jagtiani. When I recently read that Mickey Jagtiani is the richest Indian in the Gulf, I wasn't surprised. Under Mickey, the Landmark Group has grown by leaps and bounds, and I'm so looking forward to this interview. If some Indian businessman has the Midas touch, it is surely Mickey Jagtiani. Ably supported by his wife Renuka and the huge family which now forms the Landmark Group, Mickey has surely made it to the top of the lists. Mickey, tell us a bit about your childhood.
I was born in Kuwait. Then when I was about 3 years old, I went to India.
Right.
I was there till I was about 10 years old. When I was 10 years old, I went to Kuwait, studied there for 1 year, and then on to Lebanon. And I stayed there and I left in '68. Then I went to London and I was studying in a tutorial college, which is supposed to be quite a famous college. So I studied there for 5 years and then I went on to working. By the time my family went through some misfortune and we lost a lot of our money, so we had no income, so to speak. I was in London and with very little money. I remember I used to spend time walking from one bus stop to the other bus stop because I didn't have the money to cover it. I must have changed my address about 30 times because always trying to get a better deal on a house. I remember once I was in this building. I used to study in the bathroom because the bathroom was 3 times the size of my bedroom. So you can imagine it was a very quiet, mundane life. And in summer I used to get a job. I worked in a hotel, cleaning hotel rooms. And I used to work there, and within 6 months I became their general manager because people kept leaving. Nobody would stay on, and very insignificant, nothing to write home about.
Well, all these experiences count you to learning so much about life, doesn't it? You work in all these places and you were struggling for such a long time.
Like I said to you, nobody plans the events that happen in life. It happens. And then you just take the best of it and move on. Then I came to Bahrain with $3,000. I started my life with $3,000.
So tell us about the time in Bahrain, what happened? When you reached there, what did you do and what was the experience like?
You see, my family was going through a problem. My brother was ill. He had leukemia, which is a very difficult disease to live with. And then after about a year and a half, he went to America to get a bone marrow transplant, which didn't happen. It didn't work out. And he passed away in America. And I was running the business.
So you set up baby shop in Bahrain. Your brother set up the business, then you're handling the entire business while he had leukemia. That must have been a very tough experience for you during those days. What happened next?
And Then I really grew when I came to Dubai in '92 after the Gulf War. Within a year and a half, we had opened, I think, about 200 stores. We were very fast in whatever we do. Our formula in business is very simple. We work with a lot of speed and simplicity. The most important thing when you work in retail is your product. You have to know a lot about your product and what is a better product than you, where to place yourself. So understanding the competition.
Very few businessmen understand business the way Mickey does. He taps the latent potential within every individual and gives the person a free hand to exploit it, converting that energy into money.
When he came here from Bahrain to Dubai and he was starting in Dubai, and he was staying with me. Mickey did his own marketing, he did his own research, he has worked tremendously hard. And today, it's an achievement and a half, it's fantastic.
Just talking to you earlier, and I believe that you have now crossed 1,000 outlets in retail hospitality after so many years.
A few more than 1,000.
1,075.
Yeah. And since our company is so diversified, they're not in the same field. It's all connected to the retail business. That's what we specialize in, that's what we do.
What's been one of the biggest setbacks you have faced, and how did you really handle that? Because that's when it really shapes character after a while when you struggle.
To be very honest with you, as far as business is concerned, we have not seen a negative growth over the last decade. And if you say what is my setback, I would say I could have done more in training and bringing up people, bringing up good crop of people who have the capability to run companies. I used to do before, when we first started, we did it by giving shares in our company to some of the prime starters. And this is a true story. One of the boy who joined me when I first started, he joined me as my cleaner. And when we opened Saudi, he was very good at his work. I told him, go and take a small share and go and run it. And he went and ran it, and he just retired 2 years back, and he had a payout of $26 million.
That's amazing. How do you promote the mindset of people being entrepreneurs within Landmark? Because that's what we see happening now. I think
inside everyone there is a business potential which he can groom and develop. And most of my entrepreneurs, a lot of them are high school dropouts. In fact, I'm a high school dropout.
What inspired you, because I know you started with such a low capital, but what inspired you to say, okay, I'm going to open my first shop? What was that trigger that said, I want to start a business?
Whatever my life is till now is always circumstantial, because I've never planned things as such. It happens because of what is happening around me.
So is that the secret of your success? Gut feel? What is?
I would say it's gut feel.
Yes.
And whatever I do, I don't say, oh, I'm going to make so much out of it. It just happens. And I spend less than 0.5% of what I earn. And my lifestyle is very simple. I live like Gandhi. I sleep on the floor till this day. All my possessions can fit in one room,
Goes with very good Buddhist philosophy, having less and less attachment to material things.
Yeah.
That's what creates the happiness and more room in your life at the same time.
Correct.
And so going forward, any other initiatives you're going to be working on?
I think I'd like to give a lot of my time to philanthropic work. And my company, Touchwood, we have developed it in such a way it can survive without me if need be. It's not reliant on me. I've got 3 children who also work in the business. I think what they inherited from me was the passion to do work and the thing to live within limited means. So I think I'm going to leave a legacy behind of young people who can really work and drive the business to the next generation.
when I joined, I made a promise to myself to be the best professional I could be, regardless of whether I was a member of the family. And I think a lot of that has come from my parents, that despite having what we have, we show up for work every day, we work long hours, we're very committed, and most of all, we're passionate about the business. So I think what I take away from them is that your values have to stay there. You can't change them just because you happen to have been much luckier in life.
There was nothing really for young people at a good price. And that's really where Splash started off, saying it's young fashion. I've used every setback to kind of say a setback is actually to propel forward.